There's a kind of stillness that only your presence brings. And lately, his soul has been aching for it. He's begun to notice something he never paid attention to before, the way his heart settles when you're near, like waves finding rest on the shore. No one has ever disarmed him like this, and it's not because of what you say. It's how your energy wraps around his chaos and calms it. The angels whisper, she was sent to bring him back to himself. What he once called coincidence, he's now calling divine. That moment he first saw you, something shifted. Something ancient stirred. And he may not say it out loud, but he knows, you didn't just show up in his life. You were placed. Placed by a higher hand, at a time when he needed a mirror that wouldn't break under his weight. The peace he finds in you doesn't come from charm or logic, it's sacred. And it's unraveling everything he built to protect himself. He's remembering who he was before the world hardened him. And you, without even trying, have become the portal. The angels say, you were the prayer he never knew how to say. This isn't just love. It's recognition. And when God sends someone like you, it's not for comfort. It's for mission. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4 verse 7. He doesn't run from you. He runs from the feeling. You touched a place he'd locked away long ago, quietly without asking. And now, everything inside him is trembling. He was taught to build walls. To love from a distance. To project strength while his soul ached for tenderness. And then there was you, not demanding anything, not trying to fix him, just being. But when a heart has known more silence than safety, even peace can feel like a threat. The angels reveal, he's afraid not of losing you, but of being seen by you. This is a man who has carried too many wounds in the dark. Wounds that whisper, you're too much, you'll be left again, you don't deserve peace. He wants to hold you, yet something inside him pulls away, convinced that love like this will cost him everything he's built. So he hesitates. Not because he doesn't care, but because he cares too much. Because when he looks at you, he sees a life he's never believed he could have. And that terrifies him. He doesn't know how to express it. He doesn't know how to choose between the comfort of his walls and the pull of your light. But the walls are starting to crack. And your presence is the reason why. The angels say, do not mistake his distance for absence. His soul is already sitting at your door. You were never meant to burn out just to keep someone else warm. The angels are clear, you are the light, but even light needs time to rest, to be held, to be nourished. He's unraveling. But you are not here to carry his healing on your shoulders. You are not here to lose yourself while someone else finds their way. Your soul has always been generous. Too generous, sometimes. Giving beyond your limits. Loving beyond your reserves. Hoping so much that you forget to breathe. But today, heaven whispers something different. Your softness is sacred. Protect it. You don't have to shrink so he can grow. He needs time. That's true. But you need boundaries. You need joy that's solely yours. You need mornings that aren't burdened with waiting. Let your radiance nourish you first. Let your tenderness come home to you. Because when a woman begins to choose herself, not out of anger, but from wisdom, everything changes. He will feel it. He will see the fire in your eyes not as an invitation, but as proof that you will no longer abandon yourself. And in that moment, the story begins to shift. The angels say, when you care for your soul, you make space for true love to find you, without demand, without depletion. You didn't expose his flaws, you illuminated what he tried to bury. When he looks at you, he sees all the places in himself that are still unloved. Not because you judge him, but because your presence reflects a truth he can no longer avoid. The angels say, your light speaks louder than his denial. He thought he could live untouched. He thought numbness was safety. Then you arrived, like a mirror wrapped in grace, offering him the chance to finally face what he's been running from. And that kind of reflection, it's not easy to hold. Because you don't just shine, you reveal. You reveal what's been broken, what's been silenced, what still hopes to be healed. So if he pulls away, it's not rejection, it's resistance. You remind him of everything he said he didn't need, but secretly prayed for. And the more he tries to look away, the clearer it becomes. There's no returning to who he was before you. The mirror has spoken, and his soul is listening, even if his words are not. The angels whisper, what he sees in you is what he longs to see in himself: bravery, beauty, and a heart that still believes. Something has shifted. You may not see it in words or gestures yet, but the energy has changed. The way he lingers in your silence. The way his heart aches when he thinks you might be letting go. The angels say, the veil is lifting. He's starting to feel what he tried so hard not to. This awakening isn't loud, it's sacred, quiet, slow, like light seeping through a crack he didn't know existed. He's realizing he can't outrun what's real. That no distraction, no distance, no logic has been enough to erase your imprint on his soul. There's a kind of love that doesn't demand, doesn't chase, doesn't shout. It just stays, soft and persistent. And that's the kind of love he's waking up to now. You didn't force this. You simply were. And being in your presence stirred something ancient in him, something he didn't have words for, until now. The angels are clear, he is awakening. Not just to love, but to the version of himself that can finally hold it. And that is why it's taking time. Because true love doesn't awaken what's shallow. It awakens what's buried. And what's buried must be faced before it can be embraced. Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Ephesians 5 verse 14. Yes, he pulls away. And yes, he comes back. It's not a game. It's a wound. The angels reveal, his heart remembers the warmth, but his fear remembers the fire. This cycle is not about you being too much. It's about him not knowing how to hold what feels this pure. He retreats when it gets close. Not because he doesn't want it, but because closeness calls his soul to shed the layers of armor he spent a lifetime building. And letting those layers fall? That feels like death to someone who's lived in survival. So he runs. Then he remembers your laugh. Your stillness. The way the world softened when you spoke. And he returns, craving the peace he can't replicate anywhere else. But nothing changes if he only comes back to refill what he keeps emptying. The angels say, love isn't a place to hide. It's a place to rise. So if you feel trapped in his rhythm, know this, you were never meant to orbit someone else's fear. You are the sun. He will either learn to stand in your light without shrinking, or be burned by the very warmth he begged for. Either way, this cycle cannot continue. Not because of absence, but because your soul is ready for permanence. You never asked to heal him. You just loved him. And somehow, that was enough. The angels whisper, your love reached where even his own hands refused to go. In your presence, the sharpness softened. The rage quieted. The fear loosened its grip. You didn't give him advice. You gave him rest. That's what made it different. That's what made you different. He's been surrounded by noise his entire life, expectations, demands, masks. But with you, there was nothing to prove. No role to play. Just the rare, impossible permission to simply be. And in that being, something started to heal. Not because you tried, but because your energy held a truth too gentle to deny. Even in silence, your love was working. Even when he didn't say thank you, didn't show up, didn't make a clear choice for you, your love was unraveling the story inside him that claimed he wasn't lovable. The angels say, she loved you with a medicine only divinity understands. That's why you can't forget her. This isn't about sacrifice. This is about your power. The way your very presence is a prayer. The way you channel love into the places others have only abandoned. You are not his cure. But you are proof that healing is possible. There is no mistake in the timing. No accident in the silence. The angels are guiding both of you, step by trembling step, towards something sacred. You may feel forgotten, like heaven has gone silent. But the truth is, alignment rarely feels loud. The universe rearranges slowly when it's protecting something sacred. He needed to fall apart. You needed to rise. And now, the ground beneath both of you is shifting. The angels say, you are not waiting. You are being prepared. Prepared for a love that doesn't just choose you in moments of ease, but honors you in seasons of soulful work. This path isn't random. It's been carved out. And every detour, every delay, every heartbreak has been part of the choreography. He's not lost. He's being guided. Just like you were. The things that didn't work out were not punishments. They served as protections. And what lies ahead, this quiet reunion the angels keep revealing, isn't about going back. It's about meeting again, but this time, as two people ready. Two souls no longer searching for fragments, but offering wholeness. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verse 5. He wants to love you. But love for him has always meant exposure. And exposure has always meant pain. The angels whisper, he hides not because he doesn't care, but because he's terrified you'll see everything he's tried to outrun. He grew up believing that vulnerability was weakness, and that needing someone meant losing power. So when you looked at him, not through him but into him, his instincts screamed, protect, retreat, disappear. Not because your love hurt him, but because it revealed how much he wanted to be loved. And wanting, to a heart unpracticed in receiving, feels like danger. So he jokes instead of admits. He pushes away instead of pulling close. He plays strong when all he really wants is to fall apart in arms that feel like home. Yours. But something is shifting. The mask is heavy now. The silence is unbearable. He's starting to ache not just for connection, but for truth. And truth doesn't come without a cost. It demands risk. The angels say, he will have to risk the breaking, if he wants the becoming. And he is getting closer. You won't need to chase him into his openness. When he's ready, he will meet you in yours. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. You were never here to convince anyone. Only to be. And in your being, everything you offered, your softness, your faith, your light, was already more than enough. The angels say, if he's meant for your soul, no force will be needed. Only recognition. So now, you let go. Not in bitterness, but in reverence. Because love, when real, cannot be lost. It only changes form until it's ready to return. You've held space. You've prayed in silence. You've watched him battle shadows that were never yours to fix. And now, the healing belongs to him. Your only task is this: stay open. Stay true. Stay lit from within, even when the night feels long. There's no more need to chase clarity. No more need to plead for timing. You have become the very thing you once longed for, peace. And from that peace, everything else will unfold. Because the kind of love you're inviting in is a love that chooses you, not out of need, but from understanding. Understanding what you are, who you are, and why your presence was never random. The angels conclude with this: what is yours cannot pass you by. What is divine cannot be delayed. And what is written always finds its way home.